After falling in the semi-finals of the PPL, your Vancouver Titans are back in draft with the MBC. For this league, I wanted to use either different Pokemon that I haven't used before, or ones that I haven't used for a long time or only in Showdown leagues. So there's not really going to be much of a draft analysis here, it's literally just going to be Pokemon that I wanted to use. So with that, this is our draft, and we'll get straight into the team builder. Our opponent this week is going to be 𝙂𝘼𝘍𝘍 and his Newport Noctowls. They drafted a team that I actually kind of wanted to draft. I was looking to draft Excadrill Sand again, because I haven't done that since Gen 8. Unfortunately, Excadrill went before I could get to it, so we ended up just going with the plan of drafting different things. But this team is going to be absolutely impossible for us to check, with Spectrier, Sneasler, Excadrill, and Tyranitar all being massive threats to our team. Screamtail, 𝙂𝘼𝘍𝘍, and Blastoise do a great job of checking our offensive pieces, and Indeedee setting up the Psychic Terrain nerfs our Palafin and means that Jet Punch might not be a viable option this week. There's also a Charizard and Glalie that I don't really see coming to this game. First up, we've got our round 1 pick, and that's going to be Palafin, but not running Jet Punch. We are running an Agility set with a Citrus Berry just to be able to try and take hits a little bit better, as well as having Wave Crash, meaning that we're going to take a lot of residual damage. I wanted to make sure that I was able to Wave Crash a few times. Drain Punch and Ice Punch cover most of his team, and you're going to see a lot of the same coverage this week because I feel like Fighting and Ice really do a number on 𝙂𝘍𝘍's team. Next up, we've got Ursaluna. With Leftovers and Guts, this is basically going to be our Spectrier check for this week, and it might actually mean that Spectrier doesn't come at all. This and 𝙂𝘼𝘼 kind of make Spectrier a little bit obsolete in this matchup, but we still got to prep for it as if it's going to come. And Earthquake, Drain Punch, Gunk Shot realistically hits absolutely everything on their team for super effective, or at worst neutral and stab. And so we just run Bulk Up as a last move in case we get in a situation in which we can actually click Bulk Up and get set up, because Ursaluna looks like it should be able to take quite a few hits in this game. Originally I was Swords Dance, but having one Bulk Up does mean that we're able to live at least one Sneasler hit, and that's honestly the biggest threat to our team, so I really wanted to have that. Next up, we've got our Caledon with a Chople Berry. Flash Cannon, Body Press, Roar, and Stealth Rock are the moves we're going with, and Stamina obviously has the ability. If we get a Stamina boost, this mon becomes incredibly difficult for him to break down, and the Chople Berry means that it might be able to bait in and at least do a good amount of damage to the Sneasler. I also expect Excadrill to be a way of revenging this, and realistically I had to choose between Chople and Shucker, and I felt like maybe I could deal with the Excadrill better than I could deal with the Sneasler, so yeah, we won't Chople Berry this week. Realistically, this is mainly just going to be to set up rocks, trying to roar things out, prevent any kind of setup, and also do a good amount of damage in return. Next, we're going to have Iron Boulder, our Terra captain for this week, with a Psychic Seed to try and take advantage of Indeedee's Psychic Terrain, and the Terra Bug may seem like a weird choice, but it's actually pretty good in this matchup, being able to take things like Earthquake and Close Combat from two of the mons that we struggle with most is very, very nice, and also Bug just hits quite a few things on this team without me having to worry about hitting a Mega Horn. Zen Headbutt, Close Combat coverage hits everything. Fighting is so good into this team, and Swords Dance is basically just there in case we have the opportunity to set up. If we get out in front of an Indeedee, then we should be able to set up to +2 and start putting in a lot of work. With our 5th mon, I wanted something to be able to switch into at least an attack on this team, so it's going to be Amoonguss with Heavy Duty Boots, just in case any kind of spikes or Stealth Rock go up. With Regenerator, it means it can be a sponge for us in this game, albeit it's still going to have a tough time because Sneasler and Excadrill, realistically, it needs to check, and both will hit it for at least half most times that it comes in. Bullet Seed seems like the best grass move to have, it broke any subs. Sludge Bomb, realistically just there for the Screamtail, and then Stomping Tantrum is there for the Sneasler. Stun Spore, hopefully you'll be able to slow down his super fast offense in Excadrill, Spectrier, and Sneasler. But realistically, I think Amoonguss is probably only getting maybe 1 or 2 attacks off in this game, and that's going to be really tough for us to try and, work around his offense with one Pokemon. Lastly, we have got a potential win con for this game, and that's going to be Choice Scarf Gardevoir. With the traceability, we'll be able to get the Sand Rush off Excadrill. Potential Unburden doesn't really help us, but Grim Neigh as well might be a nice thing to get, boosting our special attack if we pick up a KO. We just needed Dual Stabs this week, with Focus Blast being kind of irrelevant because Excadrill Steel type is a Terramon, and could very well just Terra into a Water or a Grass type to deal with Palafin, at which point Expanding Force and Moonblast still hit that for neutral damage, and for a very good amount as well, unless it's Assault Vest. Trick is just there for his bulkier mons in the situation in which we don't need to outspeed anything anymore, which seems unlikely, but you never know. And then Healing Wish is there to help maybe get one of our teammates back up to a decent amount of health later in the game, but I think that it might be down to gardevoir to sweep up this game, especially if he isn't unburdened on his Sneasler. And also with the Sand Rush, we will be faster with the Choice Scarf. And that's going to be the team for this week. It's very offensive. I think it's going to be a very quick game, and hopefully, bearing in mind my week 1 record, it's going to be a win. We do struggle with week 1s, but hopefully this is the time we turn it around. I'm going to get into the battle, and I'll see you guys there. Okay, so here we are for the battle against 𝙂𝘼𝘍𝘍. He does bring the Spectrier, which I'm actually really surprised about. I felt I had 2 of the best checks, arguably in the game, to this mon, so I didn't really expect it to come, but here we are. He does bring roughly what I expected. Knowing DD is actually crazy. Like, genuinely crazy. He's Tera Water on Drill. I did expect Tera Water or Tera Grass. Both made a lot of sense. So, yeah, let's go ahead. Let's get into this. I want to lead off with... Well, I really wish I didn't bring Psychic Seed. Also... That's maybe, that's a nice, that's a Nick. I don't know why it's cut off the E. I guess that must have been too many letters. Oh well. What do we want to lead off with? I mean, Palafin is like the most obvious lead. I kind of want to lead off with my Archaludon instead. As much as it's going to be a little annoying to try and continually get my Palafin in to proc its hero to 0. I don't want to lead off with it because there is no in DD, so there is no like immediate switch in that I want to go with. So yeah, also there will be no volume in this game because I've just spent like 45 minutes trying to fix my capture Elgato utility bullshit, basically the software. And it did not want to know. It really did not want to know. So I'm having to do this like directly through my recording software, and there is no way of me actually having any kind of audio. But yeah, I'm going to set up Rock's turn 1. He might be spin on Drill. That's entirely possible. We need to keep an eye out for Mold Breaker, but I do think it would just be Sand Rush. Makes far too much sense in this game. And I assume it'd be like maybe Banded or even White Herb on his Sneasler because there is no Indeedee. But I think Banded probably is the most likely. Also, this is like pretty bad for frames. I do apologize for the quality already of this, but you know, not a lot can be done about it because it straight up didn't work. And this is my workaround to actually be able to play and record. So yeah, not a bad lead. He's going to stay in. Is it going to be a Volt Switch or is it going to be a Will-O-Wisp? It could be a Wisp, but I could just be special. So see what he wants to do. He T-Waves. Okay, well that's fine. It's not like the best case scenario for me, but it's certainly not a bad thing either. I can just body press, right? What's his switch into this? He could go out into Spectrier. I could just Roar, because whatever wants to come in obviously wants to try and take this on, so I think I can just Roar and see where the day takes us, because he is going to Volt Switch. Okay, and I feel like maybe Spectrier comes in, if I had to guess, to immediately force me out. And if that's the case, we get to see like whether or not it's boots. I guess like maybe Sneasler comes in, because it would also resist the body press. But either way, I would quite like to get rid of that mon off the field, at least at early game, because I want to keep Amoonguss healthy enough to be able to do other things. But yeah, we are Choice Scarf on our Gardevoir as well, so we should outspeed anything in the sand once we are able to trace it. In comes this. Okay, that's a bit interesting. And we're just going to get paralyzed. Strong start, turn 2. Okay, and it is just leftovers. So I'm pretty happy to Flash Cannon. This could have Focus Blast. It could have Bulk Up. Either way, I kind of just want to check for it. I want to see how much damage we can do. And we shouldn't be... like, there's no way it OHKOs us in any way. Encore. Wait, because I got paralyzed, I thought that wouldn't encore me. I don't know the mechanics of encore, apparently. I'm just going to get fully paralyzed again. They have just locked me into paralysis. Who knew? So yeah, 3 turns in, we have not been able to play the game for 2 of them. And now I do need to switch out. I want to keep you around, obviously, for Spectrier. I guess that you're a little bit less necessary. And if you do click bulk up, at least we have an ability to start clicking Swords Dance. It does mean that we are forced to Tera. Rocks go up, okay. That makes sense. So you're not a setup variant at all. And I'm able to just SD on this, because it wasn't booster. If he encores me, he encores me. It's just a good play, right? I'm just going to click SD. He doesn't know anything about my set. If he has T-Wave on this as well, then we know that his entire game plan revolves around just not letting me play, which is valid, honestly. With a team that I got, not letting me play would be a good option for him. Do you encore? Play rough. Okay, that's going to do nothing. Excellent news. Okay. So, terroring early is not ideal, but I think regardless, it is going to be my best play. There's a good chance that Encore comes out here. How much do I do to, like, Fizz Death? It'd been lovely to have gotten some damage off earlier just to see how much it would have done, but it is the game we play. We are Tera Bug as well. It might be the only time you see us run Tera Bug, but honestly, Bug looked really good into this team with 𝙂𝘼𝙍𝘍, with a potential Tera Grass on Excadrill, Tyranitar. It resists some attacks as well, thanks to this. So yeah, we're going to Tera Blast. Probably won't do half because this is a Scream Tail, and it probably is going to be defensive, yeah. That's fine. Encores me into Tera Blast. I don't think there's much on his team that realistically wants to come in and take a +2 Tera Blast anyway. So, yeah. I feel fairly happy just clicking this again. We had to be aware that if we come back in later, then we are going to take 25% because of the rocks. But that's fine. We will cross that bridge as and when we come to it. There's not a lot that can revenge this from this range, so he may want to get some more damage off and go from there. If he is like defensive on Scream Tail, then on Spectrier, then he's not going to take a lot of damage. But if at the same time it's only a resist, and we do have stab. We are Tera bugged up, so it will actually 2 a KO unless he has got bulk in him. Really wishing I just wasn't Psychic Seed. Any other item would have made a lot more sense, but honestly, I felt like it was almost a lock that 𝙂𝘼𝘍𝘍 would come to this game and get a crit. I'm sorry for that. Yeah, that sucks. But then again, there was 2 turns of paralysis, so sucks to suck, I guess. Alright, so Tera Boulder on the board immediately. Love to see that. We are still encored into Tera Blast, so there is that to be concerned about. Is there much that is able to revenge kill me? I guess like he doesn't know necessarily how much we have in our attack, but honestly getting rid of Scream Tail is lovely. It puts a little bit less pressure onto my Archaludon. Archaludon's now like pretty freed up to do what it wants. If it is like max defense Tyranitar, then it will be able to take a Tera Blast. If it's not defensive, if it's just max HP, it will not take a Tera Blast. So that's good to know. How much does Sneasler take? Because it's either going to be Sneasler or it's going to be... Yeah, okay, there's a big sneeze. This is kind of what I was expecting to come in. Do I want to get my damage off? Realistically, I don't think I need to. If we're down at like half HP, we should still be able to take a hit from something. So I could switch out here into Amoonguss, scout for the damage. If it's banded, then we'll be able to know. Yeah, I think that's fine. We are boots on Amoonguss as well, so taking this damage is not the worst thing in the world, but we are just going to scout, see what kind of Sneasler this mon's going to be. Diaclaw, from banded would not 2-hit KO. Gunk Shot definitely would. Okay, so that looks to be banded. 100%. Okay, it's Life Orb. Never mind. It's not banded. Retract that previous statement. It is in fact not banded. 𝙂𝘼𝙍𝙍, I did say was pretty free to just kind of let it drop. It's paralyzed as well. It's got rocks up. Realistically, it's done what it's going to do in this game. It is nice to switch into a Rotom, but at the same time, yeah, actually the switch into Rotom probably is appreciated. We don't have a great deal to switch into it. Amoonguss can do so. Actually, Amoonguss can do that. And if he decides to switch out into Rotom, for example, on his turn for whatever reason, then we've caught that. Like, I honestly, 𝙂𝘼𝙍𝙍's going to go down, and that is all that matters. Really wish it was banded. Banded would have actually been like really, really nice. You know, with a SD, okay, I see how it is. I definitely don't take a Life Orb one, that's for sure. If this is 𝙂𝘼𝙍𝘍 now, it does just beat me. Fairly simply, it will just beat me. There's no shot I take a +2 Life Orb hit, but I'm going to at least attempt it. And hope... Oh, it's not 𝙂𝘼𝘍𝑍. What the fuck am I talking about? It's not. I've at least seen its Life Orb. Jack, get your ass together. What the fuck are you doing? Okay, so it's Life Orb. We know it's Life Orb. I'm being a big dumb. 𝙂𝘼𝑍𝑍 goes down, but that was kind of what the plan was anyway, so we're all good. We're in a good... I say a good spot. We're in a spot. If we go into you, Sneasler at -1, does Moonblast kill? Moonblast should always kill. Am I faster? Guaranteed. I am faster guaranteed. Good stuff. Well done, Pass Jack. You have successfully managed to do something right. So he's going to know we're scarfed, but that's fine. I don't mind him knowing that we are scarfed here. Poison Touch is going to go crazy. It is going to go absolutely crazy. Moonblast from this range, I'm checking again. It definitely kills. We're going to click the button. Tyranitar switching in will take a decent enough chunk, especially with the rocks up. And yeah, Sneasler's going to switch out. We basically just need to keep Amoonguss at like a decent amount of health. -1 comes in, that is the Tyranitar, to be expected. We need him to Tera his guy. That did so much damage. Holy shit. Lefties eject. Okay. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. He knows that we're scarfed. So he's Tera Water though. Just like everything on this team is a problem. That's going to obviously be Drill. EQ won't knock me out. It might knock me out now. It might knock me out. I think we need to get you activated. I want to say that's like our only actual way. Do you take a +2, right? Do you take +2? +2 EQ after rocks? Probably not. Probably not. He doesn't know an item on this. But I am going. Okay, I'm going to switch Palafin because I think he's going to SD. There's no real reason for him to not SD, right? He has 5 turns of sand. We know that much. Once the sand's over, we should be able to deal with this. He just EQs. Okay. That does a fuck ton of damage. But we are going to live it and we're going to get our citrus back. And I'm just going to double into my Boulder. I think I need to play around this sand a little bit. So yeah, I'm going to double into Boulder. There's nothing to gain from that information-wise, I don't think. Because I am regular Palafin, I'm not hero. I guess, like... Adamant? Is it banded? Surely it's not banded, right? Okay, he's going to Tera. That's what we wanted to get. We did want the Tera because we can deal with this slightly better once it's Terra'd. If he SDs here, we're not in a great spot. No, he just EQs again. And he is going to take Sand Chip. Right? Okay, it doesn't. I thought that it did. Interesting. Okay, no, sorry. It's Sand Stream users that take the damage. This is as good as dead. It's completely useless for me now. I'm going to Z Headbutt just on the off chance that we're able to do something. Is that banded? Can I gauge whether or not that is banded from there? Gardevoir is like my way of revenging. It's my only way now of actually revenging. Revenging Sneasler. How much do you take from banded? We're at 266. We would die. We would die. I do think I probably have to play out this game offensively. Palafin is not going to be too helpful at this point. So yeah, I'm going to go into Amoonguss. This is a roll if he is adamant banded. This will be a roll. He is Tera Water, so it's good to jot that down. And how many turns left of sand is there? There's only one turn of sand left. Once that goes down, there's a chance that I can do something. Actually, I can Healing Wish my... Hang on, no. It might be the end game, actually. Healing Wish my Palafin. We'll give that a try. He does withdraw. Okay. -1 comes in. Sets the sand back up. No, actually, no, never mind. He's not going to set the sand back up. Hold up. So he's going to play the rest of this game without sand as long as we are able to connect to one more. As we can. Amoonguss, you are the fucking goat. You're actually a mushroom, but you are a goat. We were known for our giraffes in PPL. We've now got Mushroom Squad somehow. I guess like Chi-Yu could be a mushroom. If you like turned it on its tail, I could see a mushroom there. But yeah, Drill, I would say, is a little bit less of an issue. Amoonguss might be able to do something here. Do I think you knock me out from here? We saw it was Life Orb. We did see it was Life Orb. Like, realistically, I don't have another switch in. So, yeah, in terms of what I'm doing here, I'm probably going to stay in. I think I stay in... Do I Tantrum? Because he's Life Orb. I think Tantrum makes the most sense. So yeah, I'm just going to do that. If he decides to... like, hopefully this doesn't kill me. It does, okay. That's tough. I couldn't tell whether or not that was going to take me out from there. But we are now in a position where we might be able to get something going. Because he doesn't have a switch in. Like, he doesn't have a switch into this mon anymore. Trace the Poison Touch, that doesn't really matter all that much. If it's not at -1, do I knock it out from this range? Amoonguss probably could have seen out the rest of this game. We are in danger of losing to Rotom, believe it or not. Moonblast is like a range. Don't really want to take that. But we can Healing Wish our... like either of our last two mons back up at some point. So I'm just going to Expanding Force. Hopefully he just lets the Sneasler go down. He doesn't. Like, that's the correct play. Goes into Gerald. Gerald is the horse. Of course, why would Gerald not be the horse? Expanding Force, that's going to do actually a really good amount, and I'm not going to fuck about with this. I am literally just going to go hard into Ursaluna. It's a very obvious switch if he goes into Sneasler. That's fine. I think at that point I do just kind of let my Ursaluna go down. And it's a matter of just... what? Trying to win with Gardevoir? I think Gardevoir is like the only thing that can win at this point. And it's whether or not I preserve the Gardevoir, or whether or not I Healing Wish at some point back up with my... if I Healing Wish back up with my Palafin. Because it can still Agility at this point, right? And Agility will outspeed everything. And will murder almost everything. I don't think he wants to switch because there is a chance that I just clicked Expanding Force again there. And nothing wants to take that hit, right? Yeah, so he just Dark Pulses. That does very little damage. I very much doubt a single bulk up will save me from Sneasler. Right, like a single bulk up would almost definitely not save me from Sneasler. So the play Len is Gong Shot. Yeah, because I think Rotom has to come in. If anything's coming in, it's got to be Rotom, right? Yeah. And if we can get damage on this, it does open up the potential for a Palafin endgame. I just got to work out what in the world I can actually set up with Palafin on. Can we get Poison? We can get a Poison. Well, that's very nice. Now, keeping Ursaluna I think is somewhat necessary. It is somewhat necessary, so do I just sack Palafin and then try and make some moves with Gardevoir? Maybe. I need a lot, basically, in this endgame to be able to win. I don't think that Palafin is actually something I need to keep around to win this endgame, and if he Pain Splits, then this puts us in a better position. Because he's getting far less back, and if he Pain Splits, then he stayed in, essentially. It puts me in an okay spot, we will say. I think if he does Pain Split here, like, he should just Leaf Storm. Like, there's no reason for him to not Leaf Storm. But I'm just theory crafting. If he goes for a Pain Split, he's got to be scared of Jet Punch, and maybe we can get this thing back up to a reasonable amount of health. But he may also want to try and get this back up to some health. No, he just Leaf Storms. All of that, and he just Leaf Storms. Okay, so I go Gardevoir here, as he dies to the poison. I don't have much of a choice. I can't allow Sneasler to be the thing that comes in. And then if he does go into Spec, I think I just got to attack it. And it is Shadow Ball. It shouldn't knock us out, I hope. But I think at this point, we just Moonblast. What comes in? Gerald comes in. We didn't really see anything from this earlier. It's tough because... okay, well, we've got the Grim Neigh. Do I think this is Scarf? It could very well be Scarfed. But I think my play, regardless, I've got to risk it, right? And I'm just going to go for a Moonblast. Surely you're not Scarfed into an Ursaluna Chi-Yu team, is what I'm thinking. But it could very well be. It could very well be. If we get a Grim Neigh boost here, then we have a shot. We definitely have a shot. I don't think that I do enough damage, though, to Excadrill. Like, foul plays. Okay. Well, we definitely live that. That's a crit as well. We definitely live that. Okay, so gardevoir. This stops the Sneasler from coming in. Well, we will see. Because he is Tera Water. He only has one switch. Like, he can't do anything else. And we're at +1. I think... I mean, Moonblast, it says it's a roll. It does say it's a roll. I don't have any damage to go off of. But I'm just going to click Moonblast and hope for the best. That's all I can do. And hopefully, Gardevoir, you can clutch up. If not, it's been a hell of a game. Like, oh, he's fast. Oh, he's scarfed. Okay, well... In that case... Actually... In that case, can I bulk up? Hang on. In that case, can I bulk up? I mean, it's my only play, realistically. That does a good amount of damage. And it does put him in a spot. He doesn't want me to bulk up too much. There's no way a +1 Drain Punch is able to do enough to Sneasler. Is he thinking about Drain Punch though? Drain Punch would not get me like anything back from Sneasler. I'm gonna click it anyway. There's no way he like makes that switch, I don't think. And he corrects me anyway, so it doesn't really matter. We can Fury Craft the rest of that game. It doesn't really matter. Bit of a hacksy week 1, but honestly, at this point, if I don't lose my week 1, there's definitely something to be worried about. So he was Scarf on his Spectrier, and he was Scarf on his Drill as well, which, you know, kind of makes sense to counter my own Scarf. But there was nothing I could do in that endgame with the way that it played out, because I was never going to be able to get the kill. Quite a few crits and all that sort of stuff, but honestly the crit from Spectrier did not matter. Early game would have liked to be able to play, but it is what it is. Good game to 𝙂𝘼𝘍𝙀𝙑𝙊𝙀𝙊𝙀𝙀. Good game to 𝙂𝘼𝘍𝙀𝙊𝙀𝙊𝙀. Good game to 𝙂𝘼𝘍𝙀𝙊𝙀. Make sure to go check them out. Link in the down description below. As all of the coaches for the MBC this season. And yeah, like and enjoy the battle. Subscribe so you don't miss out on the rest of the season. And until next one, have a great day, guys. Peace.